right, y'all. Welcome back to scenic, gorgeous Pennsylvania. It's your boy Royalty here again, hitting the trails. Hopefully, going to be a great 2 days here. I'm in the Michoud State Forest, and I'm doing what is called the Rocky Knob Quarry Gap Loop the next 2 days. And what that is about a little over 6 miles today, up Rocky Knob, and then that will get me onto the Appalachian Trail here in Pennsylvania for a little bit, and then we're going to camp tonight. So really very low mileage today. Should be in camp by about 3 p.m. It's about noon now. Gorgeous weather. It's like 50 degrees. I got my melly on, and once we get to camp, we're going to relax. Hopefully have enough light. If I get there at 3 like I want, I can set up and actually do a setup video for my hammock. So that'll be awesome. And then tomorrow, it'll be a little over 8 miles, all on the PA Appalachian Trail. So this could be super fun. I've done this loop twice before, and it's been a good time each time. So I'm really excited for it. I think I tightened my my hip back belt a little too much. Let me loosen that a minute. There we go. Oh, I tightened it a little too much. I was having a hard time breathing there. I'm sure you heard it. Now it's so much better. This is a very easy 6 miles. There's like one steep section the entire time. And then tomorrow on the AT is not bad either. So I'm excited to have a great last hurrah for the year. This will probably it until spring for me. So I'm going to enjoy it. I'm already starting to get a little warm in this belly, so I might actually switch this out here. And next time you see me, I'm probably just going to be in my shirt. So, all right, I'm going to put you away for a second. Let's hit these miles. We are not going left. If we did go left, that would actually be a shortcut to where we're going. But we're not trying to do shortcuts today. So we are taking the Locust Gap Trail. Blue blazes, as you can see. Such a pretty trail. And such a gorgeous day. I have so much joy because I was able to get out here today. Oh man, yeah, that is so much better. I definitely overestimated how hot I was gonna get while hiking, so whew, so much better, feeling great. These miles are going easy. I'm having a great time. Well, this mile, I guess, I've done about a mile, so going well, feeling great. Absolutely loving this weather too. Whew. All right, we come to an intersection here, but we do not take any of them. We keep going straight ahead. Well, actually, I guess it changes. It changes to the Greenwood Trail. But we are still following the baby blue blazes that match my shirt. How cute. I always forget this lake is here. And there's this cool little observation platform. Well, we are about a little over 2 miles in, and I've only been on the trail for about an hour, so making good time, exactly the time I want to make on this trip. I'm not trying to break any speed records or crush anything today. We only have a little over 6 miles to go, and I want to be there around 3, so we're on track for that. I'm stopping here at the lake just for a couple of minutes here. There's a actual usable road behind me. Just for a couple minutes. I have a croissant. I don't need to eat a ton because I'm only going 6 miles. I have dinner and stuff, and I'm going to want to eat early because it's going to be dark early. So I'm just eating this croissant and like a half a candy bar, and I'm going to get moving. So I'm only going to take a couple of minutes, but this is the perfect spot to take a rest before hitting the rest of the trail. So cool. You want to come up from there and look for the yellow blazes. That's what we're going to be following for the next little over a mile. In comparison to the last trail, the Pinchot Trail, this is a much smoother, softer, and easier on the feet, that is for sure. This is such an underrated, unknown hike, and I really hope people find this video and they think this looks awesome and they come out and do this. Because it is one of the most perfect overnights in Pennsylvania. I would rank this even slightly higher than doing the John P. Saylor overnight, even though that is a really cool one. This is especially awesome if you do it during thru hiker season and you get to the shelter and you get to hang out with some thru hikers and get to hear their stories. If you do that, I recommend you pack in like a thing of candy bars or something heavy but sweet or salty like chips or something, and then give it out to the thru hikers at the shelter. They will absolutely devour it and you will be the talk of the town, that's for sure. You can't beat that view. You cannot beat that view or this weather at the end of November. This is crazy. Crazy. And we are at a road. Let's get our climbing on. Now we start going up to get to where we're camping tonight. It's a pretty gentle uphill the rest of the way, but it is mostly uphill. Oh, interesting. Either somebody hunting or somebody camping. When you come up the steps, you want to cross right over here, diagonally up, and we'll find our Orange Blaze Trail to continue. Oh, that's a really nice campsite, actually. That would definitely be a nice place to camp if you wanted to drive up here and get off right here, enjoy the hike or enjoy the night. There's a stream right down there. That's nice. Huh. Cool. Ah, Pennsylvania. This is nice, though. This is nice Pennsylvania rocks. Helping us. Back in the rhododendrons, now that a lovely commenter on my last video corrected me. Now I know that these are rhododendrons, which, now, probably get this one wrong, but I'm pretty sure they're the state flower. So I'm sure if it's not, somebody will let me know. Rocky Knob State Forest Hiking Trail. Perfect. This is the Rocky Knob Quarry Gap Trail, so we are right on track. So yeah, this is really not bad. I have had no issues making time. We are at 4 miles, and it is hitting 2 right now as I look at my watch. Definitely right on time. Only about 2-ish miles to camp, which is going to be awesome. And basically after this rocky section is the big steep section, which is really still not bad. It's only like half a mile. And then we'll soon be on the Appalachian Trail. Okay, double blazes to the right means we are heading right, and this is the uphill section of this trail. This will take us all the way up to a nice wide old grade, which leads directly into the AT. Let's get it. Well, in case you forgot what trail you're on. So, either of these ways will get us to the AT. I always go to the left because it's a little shorter and but a little steeper, and that's fine. So we're going to the left. So about that steep section of the trail, I oversold that because I forgot. I thought it was a lot longer. There is a steeper section when we get right up to the AT, but it's not bad at all. So that was like, I don't know, 100 yards maybe. It was basically from where I said let's get it, and then it was right there to the flat section, which I'm on now. So definitely not something to worry about. I completely misjudged that. I was reading, it's been a while since I've done this trail, so it's a little fuzzy, the exact details, but very easy. So far, this has been just complete cruising trail. No problems at all. All right, now we're starting to climb a little bit. But still, it's a nice gradual grade. Nothing killer. Passed a nice lady and her golden retriever, very cute. This trail is often used by local folks just for day hiking. So if you come up here, you will see some folks that are just have a jacket, or like in the summer, just nothing, no water, no nothing, and they're just local folks from the surrounding area. Figure this is a nice flat spot before I get to the AT, because I want to talk about that. I'm going to pause this. I figured it's Thanksgiving week. First, I'd like to give some thanks. I'm thankful that I have the ability and the privilege and the disposable income to do this hobby. Not everybody does. Not everybody has the access to the wilderness, which I think is an honest shame. I think that there should be more efforts to get people from all walks of life out here into the woods. The woods is soothing and healing. It helps us, not in like a woo-woo metaphysical kind of way, but in a deep way that the human animal, I think, needs in order to continue to be sane in such an insane world that we live in. I'm thankful to everyone that's watched the channel. I really do appreciate it. It's kind of crazy that I think it's like, as of right now, like 2,000 hours spent watching me walk these Pennsylvania trails. So thank you all so very much for that. Thank you to all 28 subscribers as of this video. You all rock. It's pretty cool knowing that there are some people that want to see more videos from me. So thank you for that. And I would like to acknowledge that, and I know that probably some subscribers will get might drop some numbers after I talk about this part, but would like to acknowledge that we all do live on stolen native land, and that is the unfortunate part of Thanksgiving, is the role that our government played in the displacement of the native tribes. So I do want to acknowledge that, especially this week out of all the weeks. Enough said about that. However, it is a deeply held personal conviction, so take that as you will. Oh man, I can see the intersection. We are just about to step onto the Appalachian Trail. I see the white blazes. This is awesome. I've come up here a few times. Every time I come up here, there's an electric feeling when you get on the AT, like you're following a path that tens of thousands of people from all walks of life have done. And it's energizing. It's just so cool. And I'm so glad that we get to do a little today and then 8 miles on it tomorrow. That's going to be super cool. It's getting close to 3. It's 2:50. We have not too far to go. So I want to keep going so I can get there early with plenty of daylight left, because it's going to be about pitch black by 5:30. So we're going to keep on going here on the Appalachian Trail. It's so cool. So thankful I live here in Pennsylvania, which has a section of it. It's so cool. Let's get going. Oh, well, crap. I was going to walk away. I guess I'll still do that, and we'll pretend like I just did that cool walk away thing that all the YouTubers do that are cooler than me. Yeah, there we go. Look how cool I am walking away. I'm the coolest YouTuber ever. Now I'm going to walk back and get my camera. Break the illusion. I got to pick up you. I got to pick you up. I had to give that one a little slap. All this down, we will be doing right away first thing in the morning tomorrow, as we will be backtracking the mile-ish that we spend on the AT tonight until we do about 7 miles on a new stretch of the AT back to the car. We are home for the night. Woo-hoo. Now, let's go ahead and get in here. Oh boy, some trees have fallen. Trees have been cut. Oh boy. Oh boy, this is a bit different than when I was here last time. Okay, well, we got a shelter, which looks awesome still. Plenty of stuff up there. There's the privy. And, oh no, it's about the same as it was. Cool. There's some trees down there still up. So I'll go check those. Find some live ones to get set up. And yeah, we're the only ones here. I found a piece of trash on the trail, so I was wondering if somebody else would be up here, but it looks like we're good. All right, we are going to go ahead and drop off our food here and some other stuff. Let me do that real quick. Then we'll go find, well, no. Let me go and find a place for my hammock first and foremost before anything else. Then we'll come back up here. All right, so the first thing you want to do to find a good hammocking spot is find trees that are about 15 feet apart. And for me, that's if I spread my arms wide with my hiking poles out like this, and boom, these two are literally perfect. The shelter's right up there. I'm off the trail. This is all clear space. There's no big trees above me, and these two are alive, so we're all good to go. This will be perfect. Well, I hung up my suspension off camera. And then you want to get your big old ball of hammock. In my case, I have this guy here. And loosen it up to get the compression out. This takes up so much less space in my pack. It's a freaking lifesaver, that's for sure. And then you just want to loosen it up. Get that all open. Grab your other hammock end and just bring it over. Hook it into your other suspension, and boom. Now we just need to adjust this, which I need to just pull on this a little bit. All right, so we're gonna have to move these. I may actually need to loop this around. I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. This is not enough. Oh boy, oh, that's not great. This guy jammed through. This is not great. Of course, when I'm doing this on camera is when I have a problem I've never experienced before. Oh, that's a real mother. Okay. There we go. Oh gosh. Okay. So I'm going to have to adjust it. Give me a minute. Okay, now we have it adjusted. That took a minute. I'm having an issue with the whoopee slings on that side over there, that it's stuck and I can't adjust it like I should be able to. So that's really not helpful in this situation. That is for sure. I'm gonna have to fix that when I get home. I have no idea. I wonder if some pine sap got in there from my last trip. But here we are. We have deployed the hammock. It looks like a pretty good lay already, actually. I don't think I'm gonna have to mess with it too much more. So then, of course, the next step in my hammock is to grab the spreader bar and install this. Let's go ahead and get that installed real quick. This makes such a big difference. I absolutely love it. This is all Dutchware, I think I've said before. Just goes into these channels and then just connect it and boom, it opens up the hammock wide so you can sit in it. All right, and here's the test. We're not on the ground. That's the first thing that you want to do is not be on the ground, that's for sure. The second is to check your ridge line, which my ridge line is not nearly tight enough, so I'm gonna have to tighten this up a little more. I'll do that off camera though. That's an easy enough fix. I just need to tighten up one of the sides, probably that side or this side a little bit. Other than that though, this is pretty much good to go for bed tonight. I will set up the tarp, which you've seen before on my Old Loggers Path video. You saw my tarp setup. So yeah, it's all deployed. We're gonna just fix this and then I'm gonna go over and sit at the shelter for a while. And there's one more thing I wanted to show off before I put up my tarp and you can't see it anymore, because I got something really cool. I'm very excited for this. This is an Alpha Direct quilt liner, and it's warm and fluffy. It's 80-120, which is like really warm. This is from Jack's Are Better, and they rate it to be a 50-degree quilt for summer, but also a quilt liner to add about 10 to 15 degrees to your current quilt. It's not supposed to get that cold tonight. I think it's supposed to be a low of 39, but I was cold on my last trip, which is around these temperatures, and I saw this for sale, and while it is about $100, if it keeps me super toasty and warm tonight and feeling really cozy with this nice soft material, it's going to be worth it. It packs down super small. It weighs only 12 ounces, so we'll give it a try. That'll be something I'll probably report on later, but now I'm going to go ahead and get the tarp set up, and then we can go hang out at the shelter. All right, y'all, camp chores are all done. I've got some water, but I didn't film it because there is actually a big group actually, camped across the creek. And man, when I first got here, I thought the creek was dry and I was getting a little worried, but it was fine. I just had to go a little farther down, so no big deal. But man, camp chores are all done. It is currently 4:30, so perfect. I have about an hour left before it gets too dark, so I think around 5 I'm gonna make dinner. And I have a, what do I have? I have something from, oh God, I can't even remember. I'll tell you when I make it. I'll set up and I'll tell you when I make it. But what I wanted to do was give a little tour of the facility. So let me go ahead and switch you around and we'll take care of that. Alrighty, so I am standing right at the shelter, so you can see where my hammock is. And if we go, and so here's the shelter. I went in and I already changed. I put some leggings on under my pants, and I have my beanie on, as you saw, so I'm all ready to go. I have my puffy sitting there, so I got my water. I'm all ready to go for some dinner. Let's go ahead and walk over here. I got my camp shoes on. These Z-Packs camp shoes are crazy for how light they are. They are so good. They are so good. So right here, we have a bear pole. That's awesome. That's where we're going to be hanging up our food later. So you just basically grab this guy, hook your food up to it, and then hook it up there. So we'll do that a little later after I eat and have all my smellables put away. And so yeah, there's, you can see the shelter. And that's a bat box over there. That's cool. Let's go up before the light gets too bad and see if the privy's open, because that would be kind of nice to know. Take you on a real-time walk. Oh, they put up a second bear pole. That's awesome. So there's 2 bear poles here. Sweet. That's new. Yeah, the group that's on the other side, we're chopping some wood. They're having a boisterous night. Hopefully it won't be too loud tonight, but I'm gonna have my earphones in and I'm gonna be watching some movies. So even if they are, I'm not too worried about it. And maybe they'll say hi if they come over this way and use the facilities. Well, I can smell it, that's for sure. That is absolutely a privy. Let us see. Oh, no, looks good. Yeah, it is in service. Pretty standard privy. I'm not going to open that. Nobody needs to see that. Like some supplies for the shelter workers. Yeah. A little privy here. Nice. I'm glad it's open. In case I got to do that number 2 before I leave tomorrow or later tonight. Who knows? Got a long way before I'm going to be falling asleep probably. Yeah. That is the facilities. Pretty nice. I think this trail is so nice. And then you come here and you get to have a shelter if you want that experience. If you want to, like if I was a tenter, I might not even have set up my tent seeing there was nobody else here. I could have just threw my pad down. Now, I do have a pad, and actually, spoiler alert, I bought a Black Friday tent. I got Gossamer Gears, the 2. It's on crazy sale right now. And there are some spots I'd like to go to, like Dolly Sods and some other places that are not like super hammock friendly. So I sucked it up and I got a tent. I have everything else. I have a pad. My quilt that I use here works just fine. And so don't really need anything else other than that. So I went ahead and I grabbed it. I figured, what the hell. All right, let's go ahead and sit down. Oh, that's nice. Oh, let me put I have my seating pad down, my sit pad, since I didn't bring the chair this trip. Oh man, there we go. All right, cool. You can see me, we're all good to go here. I want to see if I can make this work. Yeah, we can kind of make this work. So I want to show off my Hill People gear kit bag. I've been meaning to talk about what I like carrying it when I'm hiking because it's like so visible in my videos that I figured, let me see if I can adjust this a little more here. There we go. I figured it was probably time to do a little show and tell here. So hopefully, yeah, there we go. So this is called a snap mount. This is magnetic and it just connects right behind the fabric. So it doesn't leave any marks or anything, but holds the GoPro. So all my first person footage you've been seeing right with that, which is really cool. It's hard to get apart too. So it really, as you can see, it really snaps together. So hence the name. So that thing's really awesome. It's so easy. I just press the button on the GoPro. It starts recording trail footage. All good. And then the inner pockets here, I keep my headphones. These are the Soundcore V20i, I want to say. My girlfriend got a pair of these and kept talking about how awesome they were because they don't have to stick in your ear because they have this like little flat part. And like hiking for like 4 or 5, 6 hours, you're all sweaty, having an ear pod jammed in your ear to listen to a podcast or an audiobook or something. It gets, like, to me, it gets a little annoying after a while. So she was like, try these. They're like 25 bucks this pair was, and it's awesome. These rock. I wore them all today and didn't bother my ears even once. They can adjust to fit your ear canal, and they're great. And they even have a mode where you can turn on a light on them, which is great for here in case you would drop it and you need to find it. You can go into your phone, go into the app, and turn the light on. So Soundcore V20i, I'm pretty sure these are. Just look up Soundcore on Amazon. They're from Anchor. These are awesome. These are awesome. And like, if you just put one at a time, you're going to hear everything around you because it doesn't actually go into your ear hole. So that's awesome. Over here, I keep salt tablets for hydration. And over here on the inside, let me zip this apart. Here, this is the mic for one of my action cameras, which we'll talk about that in a second. And then over on this one, I put this one here when I'm walking and talking. So I just keep it safe and tethered. And then I have emergency lighter, pocket knife, all I need is the little, listen, if you're carrying a big ass knife, like if you're really worried about protection, like, okay, I get it. But like all you need is this little tiny Swiss Army knife. Like this thing looks like donuts. It's awesome. Fire starter, hand sanitizer, snacks, phone. And then in here is where I keep the tripod that this is sitting on. I keep this guy, which is the Osmo 360. So it's a 360 camera. So hopefully some of the footage you've been seeing has turned out awesome. I don't really know. This is my first time trying it. This was another Black Friday buy. I kind of like got suckered by consumerism this time around. I'm still really pissed about the possible DJI ban starting at the end of December, which means we won't be able to get their products legally in the US, which sucks because I love their stuff. It's been great. It's so easy to work with and so easy to edit. So I'm going to get off my soapbox, but this thing's cool, and I really hope that the footage from this trip has looked awesome and was worth the investment. And then, yeah, I keep the tripod in here, the selfie stick tripod that you're looking at there. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, and also, I got a new cool trail wallet. This is from Hilltop Packs. Full disclosure, I'm an affiliate with Hilltop Packs, and if you put in the code ROYALTY, you get 10% off any order with Hilltop Packs, and I get a little cash, so that's cool. They offered these up to affiliates for free, just had to pay for shipping, so I did get, like, this was, I think it's 20 bucks or something, and I just had to pay for shipping, and they sent that to me, so that's cool. Full disclosure, it's cool, it's a wallet, it holds my ID and, like, a card, because, like, you know, I have to drive here, and my car key, and I have a little lens wipe that I have in there, and glasses wipe. And yeah, that's the kit bag. That is the kit bag, and I love it. It connects to my pack, so it lifts the load up, so I don't have to like, it's not a strain on my back or anything, because it's connected to the bag. And you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and put my puffy on here while we're jabbing, because that sun is coming down. That sun is coming down. And I think a problem I had last time was that I waited too long to like put on layers. So I put on the Melly as soon as I got in, and then as soon as I was done with camp chores, I put on leggings. I don't know if I'm gonna sleep in my pants because I wanna really try to give that cool quilt liner a good try. So I'll probably take my pants off like I usually do. But yeah, other than that, I'm all dressed for bed. I got my leggings on under here, so we're all good. Also, like with people there, if they come by to use the privy or just come to check out this thing, I didn't want to be here in just my long johns, just like, you know, like some kind of shelter pervert. But yeah, yeah, I guess that's it for my kit bag. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to make myself a recovery drink, which is like protein powder and Gatorade. And then I'm going to go ahead and start dinner because I am actually kind of hungry. And I figure if I'm actually done eating by like the time it gets dark, I can get in I can get in my hammock, I can watch a movie, and then I can report, I'll boot you up and I'll report how the warmth is going with the new quilt liner, how it feels. But I'll put you guys back on when I'm eating so I can remember what I'm actually eating and talk to you about it and tell you how it is, because I am trying something new. Peak Refuel. I'm trying Peak Refuel's coconut curry. That's what I'm trying tonight. That is what I'm trying tonight. I totally remembered. Go me. So yeah, so let's go ahead. I'm going to put you away for a minute. I'm going to get all this sorted and we'll be back with dinner. It is getting chilly here real quick. And I am ready for some hot food, that's for sure. Oh, there we go. That's steaming. There we go, baby. And I got gloves on, so I can actually handle the thing. All right, sweet. All right, let's get this stirred up. Yeah, it is the Peak Refuel Chicken Coconut Curry. I'm hoping it is good. People said this is good in reviews, so we're gonna find out. All right, I'm gonna let this rehydrate, and then I'll get back with y'all when I am ready to, it's all sitting in my repack. I'm gonna take these gloves off and hold it, and I'll get back to y'all when I actually taste this. Peak Refuel Chicken Coconut Curry. Let's give this a try. It's pretty good. It's not very saucy, which I kind of like. You can see here. It's not exactly saucy, which like I'd consider a curry to be saucy. So it's fine. It's got a good flavor, and it feels like there's a lot of it in here, and a decent amount of chicken. I know their whole thing is like all the protein for a manly man. So yeah, it's not bad. I don't think it's the best backpacking meal I've ever had, but it's not too bad. I'll enjoy it. I'm gonna eat this. It is pitch black here. It is 5:26. It is 5:26 p.m., not a.m., folks, p.m. So it is completely dark here. I'm gonna go ahead and swap the battery in the GoPro after I eat, or not the GoPro. I don't know why I keep calling it GoPro. My action camera, my DJI Action 5 Pro. I'm going to change the batteries in my action camera so I have a fresh one all ready to go for the morning, and if I want to record after a little bit tonight. And I'm going to eat this, and I'm going to go get in my hammock, and I'm going to start a movie, and maybe I'll talk to you again unless I fall asleep while I'm watching it, and if I do, then yay for me. But I don't think I'm going to be falling asleep for a little bit, considering it's still only 5:30, and I only woke up at about 7 today, so I haven't even been awake 12 hours. So I'm going to eat, and I will get back with y'all in a little bit. Hey everybody, it's about 9 p.m. here. I'm getting close to the end of my movie. My neighbors, the big party camped over in the other campsite, have been randomly screaming and shouting and yelling catchphrases all night long, so that's been fun. Kind of hope that calms down here once it gets past like 9 or 10, so we'll see about that. I'm watching Kingsman: The Golden Circle, which is fine. It's a fine movie. I saw the first one when it came out and never caught up any of the rest of them, so I figured this would be a good opportunity too. I feel nice and toasty here in the hammock. So I'm going to go ahead and finish my movie up, and I'm going to enjoy my warm blanket, and I'm going to try and get some sleep here once that's over. And if I can't sleep, then I'll throw in another movie. I did get the sequel to Batman Ninja, which is Batman Ninja Yakuza. The first one was fun, so if I can't sleep, I'll watch that too. So, all right, everybody, I am going to go ahead and get some sleep, and I'll see you in the morning. Good morning, friends. It is currently 6:44. I woke up about 15 minutes ago. My alarm went off. As you can see, no longer in the puffy. I finally, a few times, getting up to pee and stuff while I was watching my movies, I finally figured out that this is amazing. This thing is incredible. The trick to it is to wrap it around yourself completely like it's a mummy bag. Less like my quilt, it just kind of tucks down beside me, but not underneath me, because there's doesn't have any filling at the very bottom. But this, once you wrap this Alpha Direct little liner completely around your body, it added a ton of heat. Like, I was super cozy. My thermometer said the low overnight was 32, which I think is probably the coldest I've slept in, and I didn't even notice. Like, I'm getting a little chilly now because I'm exposed to air, because it is still it's like 38 out here. Sun's not totally up yet. But yeah, no, slept great. Had no issues with the temperature. I thought it drizzled a little, but it didn't. I can see I don't have any rain on my tarp, so nice. I don't have a wet tarp to carry around today. I don't have much of a need to rush out of here this morning. The only thing I have to do today after hiking is trivia with my mom. We do trivia every other Tuesday at a local bar. So other than that, and I just need to be there by 6. And so I have 12 hours to get there, and it's only about 8 hours of hiking today. Or not 8 hours, only about 8 miles of hiking today, which is, 4 hours, 4.5 if I stop to have a little snack. So nothing crazy today. I just plan on, I'm just gonna kind of lay here in the hammock until the sun comes up, and then I will start packing up. I will probably just pack up all my hammock stuff right away, and then just carry everything up to the shelter. And that way I have everything there, and I can just do all my cooking and stuff. I have a Mountain House breakfast. I usually don't bring a big breakfast, but this time I was like, I'm just going to bring the big breakfast and warm up real good in the morning. And then I don't have to eat anything until I go to my trivia thing tonight, other than some snacks on the way, because that way I can have a nice big meal. So, all right, I'm going to put y'all away, and I'm going to just lay back down in my hammock for another 10 to 15 minutes. And I'm going to start packing up, and I'll see you back up again at the shelter probably. Hey everybody, Future Royalty here, coming at you live from the editing room, aka my couch on my iPad. So I thought this would be a really cool sequence to show me tearing down my hammock, to show you a real-time thing about how long it takes. Yeah, it turns out it takes about 12.5 minutes, and I was bored to tears watching me go through this. So I went ahead and sped it up a good bit, so hopefully it's not too laborious for you. And if you look up to the left of the screen, you're going to see very quickly go by one of my neighbors from across the stream. I guess a bit of a spoiler, because that is the neighbor that I talk about in the next clip that I totally didn't notice was here while I was doing this. Alrighty, looks like I have the tarp down, so that's the end of the teardown footage. I now return you to your regularly scheduled programming. Alright, camp's all broken down. I'm taking advantage of all the table space I have here to really spread out, really luxuriate here with my with all my crap. I did see one of my neighbors walk by as she was heading to the privy, or coming back from the privy, so just said hi. They actually stopped being rowdy at 10, so that's totally fine. I was just a little worried it was going to be going all night long, but nah, once my second movie was done, which was Batman versus the Yakuza League, which was actually very good. It was better than the first one. It was a lot of fun. I didn't have any problems sleeping, got a good bit of rest. It's nice to have the shelter here. I was able to go in and just went to the back corner and change. So I got my pants on already, I got my shoes on already. I'm gonna make, you can probably hear, I'm boiling water to make my breakfast. I wanna let that reheat, and I'm gonna make some coffee. I'm gonna drink the coffee, and then I'm gonna go and refill my water, and then I'll eat breakfast, and then hit the trail. Like I said earlier, I don't have any super fast rush to get out of here, so. I realized last night after dinner, when I was looking over some of my footage from today, is that maybe when I'm eating food, some people would appreciate if I don't turn the lav mic on. So I'm just using the mic in my action camera right now. I haven't had a Mountain House breakfast. Well, the breakfast skillet. I had biscuits and... No. I had something. I had a Mountain House last trip, I think. But these are always like... I feel like Mountain House is the diner food of backpacking meals. Like, it's kind of bland, but like it's serviceable and you're not mad about it. But like, there are much better meals. I have these because before I knew better, or I guess that's not correct. Before the more niche brands came out, like Peak Refuel and Backpacker's Pantry and Bowling Kettle, before all those came out, it was just Mountain House. So I had put on my Amazon wish list for Christmas, like a big box of Mountain House. So I have like a ton of Mountain House meals that I need to eat. So that's why I'm bringing it today. Oh, it's fine. It's totally fine. It rehydrated good enough. I'm not mad about it. Water's done. All I need to do is eat and pack all the rest of the stuff up and then hit the trail. So we're all good. It's only 8:23. I'm well on track to be out of here by 9. That's the goal. We have a little over 8 miles today. That's about 4 miles of hiking. It gets me out of here between 1 and 2, depending on if I stop for a little break to have lunch or whatever, or I just take extra time filming stuff. So yeah, it puts me well between 1 and 2, and it's an hour and a half home. So I'll be home well before 4. I can take a shower, pet the cats, and then go and do trivia with my mom, like I had mentioned before. One of the smartest things that I ever did when I started backpacking was to make a checklist of all my gear that I want to bring on trips. This is the most invaluable thing to make sure that you are not worried. That you don't forget anything. You do not forget anything at home. And 2, that you're not worried that you forgot something at home because everything is checked off. I don't finish checking this until I have the actual, like you can see at the top there, that like my backpack is listed. I don't check that off until the backpack is in my car. And then I have subheadings that things get stuffed into things like my fuel, like my cook stuff gets all stuffed into my cook pot. You can see it there. And like my electronics bag, it has everything listed there. So I will check it off as they go in and then finally check that off when it goes into the bag. I cannot recommend doing this enough. I just use the Notes app on my iPhone. I'm sure Google or Android phones have the same sort of Notes app. I highly recommend doing that if you're not already. That way you are not forgetting anything. You're not worried you forgot anything. It makes things so much easier and so much less stressful when you're packing up. I'm just going to kind of sit here and eat breakfast. I'm going to throw my podcast on while I eat, and then we will get back together when I'm heading out. We are all packed up. We are all cleaned the shelter out, made sure we didn't miss anything, and we are all good to go to hit this trail. Like I said a little bit earlier ago, we have a little over 8 miles to go. Pretty easy terrain except for one spot, which is a pretty steep climb, but nothing crazy. Like it's not a hard or very long, but it is pretty steep. So that's not for a while though yet. There aren't really many views on this trail here. There is one clearing, if I remember correctly. I mean, it is the Appalachian Trail, not exactly known for having tons and tons of views in Pennsylvania. But we do go through another really cool shelter area, and we'll look at that. It's really, really cool the way that the caretaker has set it up and takes care of it. Other than that, though, we just got to do the miles and make it back to the car. When I checked the weather coming into it, there might be rain in the afternoon. I think it said 20% chance. And of course, I dropped my pole, so 20% chance at 1, but we should be out of here around then. So hopefully we won't get caught in the rain. So let's go ahead and get these miles, y'all. we are already 1.3 miles in about a half hour, so these have been easy miles, and we are back where we turned off, right at this intersection here, with the intersection of Rocky Knob Hiking Trail. So from here on out, every mile that we do is all new Appalachian Trail mileage. We're going to head on this way, and yeah, miles are easy so far. Like I said, this is not exactly a tough section of this trail, other than one little bit of elevation later. But yeah, easy cruising miles. I think I'll be done well before I expected to, and definitely beat that rain. It is overcast. As you can see, I got my gloves. I kept the hoodie on. It is a little chilly. But I have a feeling in another mile or so I'll be able to strip a bunch of this off and feel pretty good. I understand that the purpose of this is that when it's raining, this is going to be wet and that's going to be dry. But for me, it's just a nice bypass to some Pennsylvania rocks. I get to walk on this nice soft part and just skip some rocks. That's a rarity in PA. Ah, this is such a cool pine area. The ground is so soft to walk on. A real treat. I love this section and just this loop in general. I know I said it before, but if you live in PA, this is honestly a must-do overnight. I cannot recommend it enough. Honestly, like, this would be great for if you like the cold more than I do, or have the gear for the cold, like, you could definitely do this trail in almost any time of year, and you'd have a good time. If you're lucky enough to have time off and use that to go on weekday hikes, that shelter is going to be empty. So you could absolutely just hunker down in there if it was snowing or something. But yeah, cannot recommend the Rocky Knob Quarry Gap Loop enough. Just Google it. There's a rest in peace to Mid-Atlantic Hikes. He wrote this up originally. And it is hosted on a new site. It's like some kind of, it's got a weird URL when you Google it. It's like tripod.com or something. But it is the exact copy of that. And that gives you all the information that you need in order to plan your route. And still has all the GPS directions so you can import it to your GPS app of choice. I like OnX. They usually have good sales on their annual fee around this time of year. Not a plug, not sponsored, but it's the most user-friendly I've found. I like that I can edit it on my phone, my iPad, or the website to add in waypoints and stuff. So yeah, this is a great hike. Definitely come out and do it. Now, there we go. That's a cool little campsite to our left. Go ahead and take a little detour here and take a look at this. I think there is a stream like close to here that we're gonna cross. So like if you're coming the other way, this would actually be a really cool campsite to stop in. Like, this has tons of room. It's got pine needles all over it. And there's actually like, wow, there's some campsites back there too. This is pretty cool. Let's go check this out. Oh wow. Yeah, this is right off the trail. If you don't want to deal with the shelters, or you're just too tired to go the 2 miles to get to where we were, this is pretty cool. This part, probably not the greatest. There's a lot of debris here. I would probably stick to being out here, but man, pretty cool that this is right off of the trail. Now, if you were coming from where we came, you'd have to lug your water from the shelter where you're at. So like, unless you were super desperate to do another 2 miles, I don't think this would be quite as appealing as the shelter site, but some people like to camp rustic, and that's totally fine and good. wanted to go down and film that, but there's some people down there, so I don't want to get too much closer while they're, especially the kids. I don't like getting them on too closely on film. But we're basically going to be going straight up that way, and that's our big uphill for the day. It's spritzing a little bit, so I'm going to go down to this place here. There's a bench here, and I'm going to go ahead and change out my Melly to my rain jacket. I would have changed earlier, but since this is my last day on trail, I'm not super worried about my Melly getting a little bit damp. But yeah, I want to change out before it starts raining too much. Getting close to the top here. Oh, once I get to a flat spot, I got a story for y'all. Whew. Made it to the top of the climb, so we're all done with the hardest stuff for today. Oh man, so as you can see, my rain gear's on. It started to rain a bit harder. So when I got down to that little cabin, I saw the guy and his two kids. And I was like, hey man, you mind if I step up on that porch there so I can take my stuff off and switch to my rain gear? He was like, yeah, sure, no problem. Then suddenly, like 7 children, all blue-eyed, blonde-haired, like some Children of the Corn sort of kids, burst from that cabin and just swarm me and pretend to set me on fire. I am not fucking kidding. I don't drop a lot of F-bombs in these videos, but that was the most surreal shit that I have ever experienced. Surrounded by a bunch of children pretending to set me on fire. Then, as I took off my gear, they would pretend to set each individual piece of gear on fire while the parents just kind of stared and eventually like pulled them off of me. But it was wild. It was one of the most surreal, weird things that I've experienced on a hike in all my years of backpacking. So, yeah, that happened. All right, so we're at a road here at an intersection. I think I need to pull my map out and see which way. Oh, there it is. The AT goes this way, so I don't need to pull my map out. But man, that was weird. It's warming up, so I am sweating under this rain gear, but it is what it is. I don't know if you can peep the fit. I got the Dutch Wear rain kilt on. Last night I used it as my ground sheet, which worked really well. I forgot that it had that feature on top of just being a rain kilt. So definitely going to be dry, which is great because I forgot to pack other clothes for the drive home. So at least I'll be mostly dry. I can always unzip my pant legs off if they get too wet, and that'll be fine. So we are currently, I think, at about 3, maybe 3.5 miles. So we are cruising here. The rain's really not that bad, but I didn't want to get my Melly all soaked and then have to carry a wet jacket. Oh man, what a weird situation that was. Okay, let's go ahead and crush some more miles, and I'll check back in with you again in a little bit. We are at 4.5 miles. I found a nice little campsite. I knew this campsite was here, like smack dab in the middle of the hike, basically. So I stopped and took off my pant legs because I was getting hot and they were getting wet. The rain has stopped pretty much, but I'm not taking off my my rain jacket because I did see in the forecast that it was supposed to start raining later, so I'm a little worried it's going to start again. And at this point, I don't want to stop and have to take everything off and put everything back on again. So I'm going to stop and eat my other croissant. These Sam's Club croissants are just awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and eat my croissant, and then we're going to do some more miles. We are going to get to a really cool shelter here, and I think like a mile or two. It's not too far out, maybe even 2.5, because it's close to where we're going to get off to get back to the car. But that's going to be really cool. So we'll stop there and take another little break and show that around. And that is the agenda for the rest of the day. Oh, hey, here's a nice little dry campsite. Good bit of room for a tent. A little firing, that's pretty nice actually. Yeah, if you had water and you came across this would be pretty sweet. I was about to take off my rain gear because I'm getting pretty toasty, but I'm up here on a ridge, so I pulled my phone out and I was lucky enough to have signal. So I pulled up the weather, and I am smack dab between two storm fronts right now coming up through PA. So I don't know if I'm gonna miss the downpour or if I'm gonna get stuck in it, but I guess for now I just gotta leave the rain gear on and pull the hood up if the rain does come in. It wouldn't be Pennsylvania without a rock field close to the end of your hike. This is classic PA rocky fun, and of course it has rained, so all these rocks, in addition to being jaggy and all around unfriendly, are now wet and slippery. There we go. Now I'm pretty sure that we are getting real close to that shelter I mentioned. Well, this is new. This is an extension to the shelter area we're coming up on, with a whole little tenting area with a fire pit and a nice picnic table. Spots for, I don't know, I'd only probably put one tent there, but maybe two if you're not doing a fire. That's really close. But yeah, this is pretty cool. Let me get up here. Yeah, if you were not doing a fire, I could definitely see space for a tent right here and then over there, but yeah, pretty cool. This is definitely new since the last time I did this a couple years ago. Man, here we are. All right, let me take a second and I will pop you off my chest and put you on a stick. Let's take a look around this. I just saw something that I never noticed before, so I'm going to go walk over there in a second, but I'm going to flip you around. And look how cool these shelter spots are. This is such a neat little place. There's a little bit of no, it's not. That's just as hard. But place to sit and tent spots up here and then up there, and then there's a privy up there. And the bench is super cool. I'm not going to sit on it because I don't feel like getting wet. Another bench, and I think that leads to the stream so you can get your water. But I just saw back here, this is a new sign. I'm gonna go check this out. Group tenting area 1, hammocks. Now, we just passed tent area 2, so I'm kind of curious what the hammocks would be back here. I'm assuming following these here. I've never actually gone back here before, so this is all. Hopefully I'm not gonna run into somebody that's in their tent or something. Ooh. This is a bit of a walk here. Now, I have never gone back here. I think I've said that like twice now, so beating a dead horse, but I am curious. Man, this is a bit of a haul to, and with all these rocks, man. Yeah, definitely a Pennsylvania ass side trail. Oh yeah. Oh, huh. Huh. Well, look at this. This is so cool. That is worth a little bit of a walk. Check out the freaking hammock posts. You've got a ring here for a carabiner or your straps or whatever, and then hooks for your gear. You could do what? 1, 2, 3 hammocks right here. That's really cool. And you have a fire ring. And then I assume up that way are some more tent sites. I don't particularly feel the need to go up that way, but I will eventually through hike all of the Pennsylvania Appalachian Trail, that's for sure. So knowing that this has hammock spots, if I would hammock the AT, I know plenty of AT through hikers have hammocked it. So it's definitely doable. And I do love my hammock. So that is certainly a thing. Knowing that that's there is pretty cool because this is such a neat little shelter area. We are back at the camp, or the main area. All right. Well, that is, and here's the Quarry Gap shelter. I should have said that. It's where the loop gets its name. Those are the caretakers. I met one of the caretakers. He told me there's a really great barbecue place, and I went there, and it was really great. And I would go there today, but I'll be going to dinner and doing trivia with my mom and her partner. I will definitely crush some sort of meat-based sandwich, as well as a mound of cheese-covered fries. That is for sure. That is on the plan for today. Cheese fries are like my weakness. Probably the reason why I've lost over 60 pounds and I still need to lose about 30 more is an overabundance and enjoyment of said cheese fries. But that is absolutely what I'm having for my post-hike meal today. It is also Thanksgiving week, so if I overeat a little, it's fine. I'm not super worried about losing weight this week, but if I do, that'd be cool. I did hike 8 miles today and so over 6 miles yesterday. I didn't eat a ton, so overindulge at dinner time, I should be fine. All right, we are really close to the car. I think we have around a mile to go. We follow the AT for a little bit yet, and then we take a spur trail that goes right down to the parking area that I was at the beginning of the trip. So let's go ahead and get on the getting. Look how cool these steps are. Well, everybody, say goodbye to the Appalachian Trail here in Pennsylvania. We are getting off of the AT. It would go that way. We're going this way. So we're going to be heading down this way following Blue Blazes. That's going to take us right back to the parking area, so the car is going to be right there. Not very far at all. I think it's like less than a half mile. So we're going to head on down the trail, and I will get back with you at the car for final thoughts and goodbyes. And here we are, back to the parking area. All right, everybody, we are done with the Rocky Knob Quarry Gap Loop. I had a great time on this trail. I think it is one of the best overnight backpacking loops in Pennsylvania. If you just want a relaxed trip with pretty mild difficulty and some great places to camp, I think you cannot do better than this. My second favorite overnight trip in Pennsylvania is the John P. Saylor Trail, but this is definitely my #1 overnight. Highly recommend everybody get out here and do it. The shelters are awesome, so you could do this as a 2-night if you really wanted to crash at the Quarry Gap shelter. That would be really cool, especially if you're doing this with kids. I think this would be a great beginner trail for young backpackers, especially with some accommodations that are more like home. Privies are great. Who doesn't love privies? I'm so thankful that I got to do this trip. I'm glad that my gear performed really well and I wasn't cold overnight. I felt really great. I felt nice and cozy and warm. No problems there, no problems with the hiking. I still haven't replaced my shoes. These Ultra Alone trails, as you can see, have seen better days. I think as of this trip, they will have almost hit 500 miles. So I think I said in another video, I'm gonna go get my feet scanned and I wanna get a pair of Ultras. I think the Olympus that have a little more cushion, I think that would be good for me. I'm thankful to everyone who watched this entire video. This is probably gonna be another hour or plus extravaganza for me. So I hope you really enjoyed seeing all the footage. I think I got all the audio issues fixed. I really hope the 3D footage comes out. We're gonna see. I don't know until I put this all together. So that's gonna be fun for both me, well, it might be cringy for me, but it'll be fun for you to see how this all comes together. I hope you all have a great week and a happy holiday if I get this out before the holiday, and if I don't, I hope you had a great holiday with your friends and family. Remember to give thanks for your ability to be in the woods, for your privilege to be able to get out into the woods, that you have the money and the travel to do so. Like I have a car, this is awesome, and I don't have to rely on trying to get out here on some kind of public transport. So I am definitely considering myself lucky and thankful for that. So I'm going to get on the road. I will see you on the trails, probably in the spring, maybe some day hike videos in between here and there, but most likely you're not going to see another long video from me until the spring when I get back out for backpacking. So peace, everybody. Take it easy.